Welcome back. I'm Samantha Hedden. Christopher Mihm is a local director and editor in Minnesota. He does retro-styled features, and people in Minnesota know him for the Mimbers. We had a chance to catch up with him at Crypticon.
Crypticon, how many of these have you done?
Crypticon goes back to the second year of Crypticon, actually. I think it was Crypticon 2, yeah.
All right, and this is 14th?
Yes.
So this is, okay, so you've done this 12 times. Your films are all shot in black and white. Why?
Because I make what I call new, old, good, bad movies. And if I'm making retro-style features, I shoot them in black and white. I like black and white. I think good black and white photography is a lost art. So,
it's all in the lighting,
cinematography.
isn't it?
It really is all in the lighting, yes.
In black and white, some colors aren't what they appear to be. Am I right? So in the old days, you could see somebody in a green outfit, but it would show as gray.
Right. So it's more the reds end up being very dark in black and white. You learn that very quickly when you have, say, a woman wearing bright red lipstick. Her lips look black, so you get this sort of like evil thing that you maybe don't want. So a lot of times you do browns or pinks or something that in black and white would be what would be in your head, equal to bright red lips or whatever. So you do make some adjustments to the color palette. Usually it's reds and overly dark colors because as soon as you get to a certain point, everything starts looking black. So you keep a lot of greens and browns seem to translate very well into black and white.
Favorite film noir movie?
Oh, jeez. I don't even know. You can't spring that on me right there. Yes, that's the answer. I don't know.
Do you shoot ceilings like Citizen Kane? Or do you generally keep the three walls and that's it?
I generally keep the three walls. See, the thing is a lot of my films, I built a bit of a tiny film studio in my basement, which is to say there's an unfinished room in my basement that I've turned into a place where I build sets. Problem is the ceilings are only 7.5 feet tall. So a lot of times I don't shoot ceilings just because there aren't any, and there's no room for it. So we go up to the edge and then stop there.
What about miniatures? Do you use miniatures a lot?
I have, if I'm doing something like space-based, I've done some miniature spaceships. We've got some stop motion in a few of my films.
You go the Harryhausen route?
Yeah. I found a really talented guy actually based in Sydney, Australia. That's done a bunch of work. Yeah, he's really talented. That does the stop motion. Otherwise, we do all practical effects. Everything's composited digitally, only because our films are shot digitally to look like old film, but the actual effects themselves are all practical effects.
Well, you got a lot of Blu-rays here and stuff, so how do people get your stuff?
You can find me online in several places. I have, a social media presence on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and then I have a website at sainteuphoria.com. My production company is called Saint Euphoria Pictures, all spelled out, Saint Euphoria, and I always tell people if you can't remember that, go to thegiantspider.com and you'll get there.
Okay, so your films have been shown on big screens?
Retro Houses, I have a sort of a weird standing commitment with the Alamo Draft House in Richardson, Texas, that shows my movies all the time. I do a lot of conventions, a lot of film festivals. My movies are everywhere. They're popular on weirdly Australian TV.
Really?
That's how I met the guy from Sydney, yes.
What's the new film? What's the latest one?
I just released one called Queen of Snakes. I'm going to hold it up.
Yes, you may do that.
This is actually my first color film.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I went for actually a faux old Technicolor look, which was fun to do. The next one I'm working on is called The Beast Walks Among Us, and that's in black and white. Color was difficult, but also this one felt better in black and white.
What can you tell us about Guns of the Apocalypse?
Guns of the Apocalypse is my 2018 movie. I released it last fall, and it's a post-apocalyptic spaghetti Midwestern shot here in Minnesota in the winter, which, as a lifelong Minnesotan, I don't know why the hell I thought that would be a good idea, because it was very cold, but it's a cool movie. It's
probably because the Hateful Eight, because Tarantino shot in the winter.
Yeah, so I can do that. I'm from Minnesota. If I'm making a Western, it's going to be in the winter. Now, it ended up working out really well. It's post-apocalyptic, so it's kind of a mix of sci-fi, but also a Western.
Who inspires you?
Roger Corman is kind of my idol, right? The guy he's got the world's longest filmography, and that's kind of what I want. I'm constantly trying to pump out movies. Not I'm going for quality, but I'm also going for quantity. You know, it's like I'm just kind of weirdly obsessed with trying to constantly put out movies. So he's really, it's like him and director Bird-Eye Gordon, who, you know, made a lot of the giant monster movies of the 50s. And he's actually from the area. He's from originally in Wisconsin, but he got his start in Minneapolis.
Wow.
Before going out to LA and becoming Mr. B.I.G.
Wow. Yeah, American International Pictures.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
All this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So at what age did you start this?
I made my first movie at 28, 29. Something, yeah. My late 20s.
Okay. Did you escape a cube farm in order to like get behind a video camera? Or
no, honestly, it was one of those things where I was working. I've always sort of been obsessed with the movies and wanting to make movies, and I did a lot of public access in the '90s, and so it gave me it was a nice like crash course in editing and you know, camera setup and sound and all these things. And actually, I went to school to be a sound guy, like a recording engineer, and that kind of helped in moving toward. But I always wanted to do movies, and when digital technology came to the point where you could make a movie for cheap that looked like a movie that wasn't on film, I basically jumped on the bandwagon. And
yeah, in the old days, any film editing software you had was like $3,000.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous.
Right.
Now anyone can do it, but you got to have the talent to do
I know
it.
I know that when I first bought the first film editing software I used, it was I think $900, and now now you can buy it for I think $150 for the pro version.
Yeah, there you go. Well, great talking to you.
Yeah,
Good luck
thank
to
you.
you, Christopher.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Those movies look fantastic. I'm Sam Haddon with producer Andy Watson. Now you know Christopher Mihm.
Or you can do it your way first, and then you can do it my way.
Shut up.